Hello everyone. Today I was thinking that I could make a different video. Lately I was just talking about what I plan to do and trying to improve the quality of videos as the last few videos. And I was thinking to talk a little bit about how I would like to do in the future when it comes to learning languages, methods, like my methods for learning languages. And I remember that once I got this idea from a friend that she told me that when she was learning a language, she was like a writer, like she made her own stories, and also illustrate them. So she said she used to create these stories in, like, let's say Japanese, and then she would translate to English, and then she would translate to Chinese, and to all these other languages she was able to speak. And by doing that, she kind of she make every single word that she didn't know her own, like she kind of, by writing them and translating them in multiple languages, she kind of acquired the right to say, okay, now these are my words. Now I'm able to use them because I not only wrote them down, I not only came up with this story, this scenario, but I'm also translated every single word into 3 different languages. And by doing that, now I can say these words are mine, something like that. And I was thinking that maybe I could start doing it as well. Like I could start writing like short stories in, let's say, Portuguese, and then translating them into English, then translating it and trying, of course, to translate it into Japanese, and so on. And when let's say I want to learn some specific vocabulary, like from a niche, I don't know, from kitchen or bathroom, or I don't know, like some fantasy stuff. Let's say I want to learn some very specific vocabulary that usually I would not learn just by having my normal listening practice. So how could I go about it? I could just come up with a story, like let's say about a businessman went to a restaurant, and then someone invited him to cook by themselves, I don't know, to have dinner in their own house, I don't know. I can come up with a simple story, and then, or try to go more deeper into it, like even creating characters. I could go even, like, I can create some characters. I can ask some friends how I could go about doing it as well. I could try to do some storytelling, and then I would try to translate it from, let's say, Portuguese, from English, from Japanese into these other languages. And by translating, I would make these words more, let's say, mine. I would be able to use them better, in a better way, like more proficiently, let's say. So I was thinking that by writing, I'll be able to improve my language skills, my level. And in short, I'll try to create some stories, some characters, put them into a drama, and then try to get something out of it. Maybe I can try to create something deep. Maybe I can even try to, or other thing I could do is like describing some story that already exists. Let's say, for example, I like One Piece. I could like tell the story of Monkey D. Luffy in English, okay? I could try to describe everything that happens in his story, everything that he does, like his fights, his expressions, all the One Piece drama, I could try to describe in English, and the words I didn't understand, I would try to find in Portuguese and then translate it into English. Or let's say I write everything in Portuguese and then I try to translate. I just wanna find a way to make this like learning process more conscious, like in a more conscious way. I want to be more aware of my own learning instead of just going through the motions. I want to be like the protagonist. I want to be able to to dictate like the things I wanna learn specifically, you know. Not He's still trying to make it interesting, but trying to make it more how can I say, try to make it more efficient. Yeah, try to make it in a more efficient way, because we have only so much time, you know. And if I spend a lot of time just trying to learn and kind of forcing my way, I think it will not be that good. So I may as well try to make my language learning stories more conscious, you know. I'll try to become more aware when I'm learning. So I think that's about that. That's what I wanted to say. And yeah.